Can we talk about supplementation? Because I know how noisy and overwhelming this specific piece inside of the health industry feels. And I hear often from women how confused they are when it comes to supplementation. It feels like every single day there's a new supplement, a new company, a new brand, a new way to take care of your wellness, a new avenue to get to a faster result. And I know that supplements can feel so incredibly overwhelming. I want to talk about this today because I know that women overall feel confused. We can feel confused on how do we actually just get back to the basics and take care of our health in a way that feels manageable, sustainable, and not like a full-time job, trying to figure out what even serves us, what even actually is going to help us feel our best as our health evolves, as our body and brains evolve, and all the things. So let's talk about supplementation. Do we actually even need it? Is it even something that our body requires? Is it something that's actually going to serve us with intention as our health evolves over time? And here's what I want to say. I think supplementation is incredibly powerful. Do I believe people need supplements in the environment that we live in? Yes, I do believe people need supplements, and I believe women specifically need supplementation. Now, here's the thing that I want to make sure that I'm emphasizing in today's episode. Supplements are incredibly powerful. However, they will always be supplemental to the foundations of wellness. And I talk about this often on the podcast. We cannot be skipping the foundations of wellness. So adequate nutrition, adequate sleep and rest and stress management, making sure that we're moving our body with intention. And then supplementation is a key player, but it has to be supplemental to all of the foundations of wellness. We can never, ever skip those things. And I think sometimes in the wellness space, that's where we get caught. That's where the confusion comes in. We are made to believe that somehow supplements will actually replace the actual hard work that we have to put in for our health every day. And that's not the case. Supplements are incredibly powerful supplementally, but they will never be the replacement. And that's the thing that we have to understand. On top of that, supplements are one of those things inside of health that really, truly need to be highly personalized to you and your wellness. So how do we actually do that? How do we actually personalize a supplement plan? Here's what I want you to know. There are basics and foundations that are obviously, incredibly powerful for most humans. Universal deficiencies that a lot of us have, things like vitamin D, fish oil, magnesium. However, most of what we need is highly unique to us. And the way that we uncover that is through targeted testing, working with practitioners that can help us understand our unique body, our unique blood work, our unique physiology, and then coming up with a very targeted and efficient plan. And this is something that I don't see often happen in the wellness space, especially inside women's health. We are marketed all the time about the quick fix, or here's the cookie cutter strategy you need to get to results. And it keeps us in this hamster wheel of just buying more supplements and trying more supplements and taking more quizzes and doing this and doing that. And it doesn't actually get us into this place of slowing down, getting more intentional, and getting more efficient with what is actually going to serve us for our longevity. And so that's the other side of the supplement coin. It will never replace the foundations of wellness, but it also needs to be highly personalized to you. And that's what I want to talk about today. So why do we need supplements? Like, why do we really, truly need them? And are they something that actually helps our bodies as we evolve over time? And as I said, yes, I think supplements are incredibly important and incredibly powerful. But here are the three things I want you to really know specifically about supplementation. The reason they can be such a powerful tool in our toolbox is because as we age, our nutrient absorption declines, right? So as we are digesting food, as our bodies are trying to continue to work as efficiently and as effectively as possible, our systems just become sluggish in a lot of different ways for a lot of different reasons. Whether that's our gut health gets disrupted, whether we have hormonal fluctuations creating cellular dysfunction overall, our body systems aren't communicating the same way. And so we aren't able to absorb the same level of nutrients for so many different reasons. As I said in the beginning of this chat today, we live in an environment that has created all kinds of disruption for all kinds of different reasons. And so with the decline in nutrient absorption from food and things like that we're trying to manage in our day-to-day, things like supplements can help fill the gaps. And that's been really powerful for me in my own journey. And I see this often with clients and with other women how when you get really strategic and specific on the nutrients that your body needs, where you may be deficient, it can create a whole different ballgame for how you feel energy-wise, how your digestion feels, and so much more. And so, yes, it's really important from a nutrient standpoint to continue to fill those gaps with things like supplementation. The other thing is hormonal shifts. It increases nutrient demands. So in midlife specifically, we have fluctuating hormones. We have declining levels of estrogen and progesterone. We need certain nutrients to help us fill those gaps in order for our bodies to feel good, in order for us to feel energized, and so much more. And so everything from mood to bone health to brain function to energy and all the things, like supplementation in a very personalized way can help our bodies feel better in all of these different areas of our wellness. And so we have to understand that these kinds of things happening to our bodies in midlife require certain kinds of things to fill the gaps. And how do we know what we need? Again, highly personalized information and data on your body. The last is, again, our modern environment. We live in an environment where, we're stressed. We have poor sleep for a variety of different reasons. We have environmental toxins happening everywhere, from our products to our foods to our actual environment in the air and the water. We're utilizing medications for a variety of different reasons. We are essentially leaning into habits that aren't really serving us. Things like underfueling and not getting adequate nutrition. We're over-exercising and overtraining. And again, we talked about stress. We're not managing stress enough. We live in a stressed out environment. You add all of this together, our stress buckets and our toxin buckets are overflowing, right? People in midlife, women specifically, are caregiving. We're taking care of families. We're taking care of parents. We're taking care of kids. We're balancing careers. We're balancing homes, marriages, jobs, all the things. Like, we have a lot of stress going on. And when that happens, our body becomes more and more depleted, right? So we have to be paying attention to what are the things that we can replenish with things like supplementation in order to help our bodies feel a little bit more optimized, feel a little bit more resilient. And so the reality of the situation is our environment and our food system work against us, which is why oftentimes supplementation can be so powerful in actually supporting our body systems. And I know for me, as I dive deeper into more personalized health and wellness, I'm learning how powerful really highly personalized supplementation can be. And it really can make a difference for how you feel. And I know, again, supplementation can feel so overwhelming. It's one of those pieces that just feels very hard to make sense of. And I think most often it's because we're still marketed and shown the quick fix, one size fits all, just take this thing and you will get to results. And that is the message that we need to continue to run as far away from as possible. So to kind of recap, do we need supplementation? I really believe that we do. And the real deep-rooted reason is because our environment and our food system are not doing us any favors. There's too much happening from an environmental toxin standpoint and so much more that's overloading the stress buckets that our bodies are trying to manage. And so we aren't able to absorb nutrients the same way, because our gut is affected and so much more. We are depleted in a lot of different capacities because we live in a very stressful environment. We need to be paying attention to the increase in nutrient demands because of things like hormonal shifts and so much more. And because of that, we aren't able to get everything from our foods. The quality of our foods don't meet the mark for what our bodies really need. And so supplementation can be so powerful when it comes to just restoring overall micronutrient deficiencies and really getting into place of helping our bodies get into this place of optimizing more vitamins and more minerals in a way that we maybe haven't been able to because we aren't getting them from our food and our environment. And so I do believe supplementation is great. And I do believe that we need it. But I do believe more than ever that highly personalized supplementation matters, and always remembering that supplements will never replace the foundations of wellness. As I shared, we have to always be focusing on how are we stress managing and sleeping and resting? How are we moving with intention throughout the day? How are we fueling consistently? And how are we then utilizing supplementation in a highly personalized way in order to help support our bodies as our health evolves over time? And so I want you to know, if you feel overwhelmed by supplementation, you are not alone. Please know that the core rule that I like to share is that highly personalized supplementation is the way. And I'm always happy to share more about how you can get into a more personalized supplementation plan at any point in time. So remember to always be asking yourself when you're evaluating supplements, first and foremost, does this actually supplement alongside the foundations of wellness that I'm implementing? Number two, does this serve my unique bio-individual physiology? And number three, is it promising a quick fix or is it more focused on a longevity specific situation where it's actually going to help with some sort of, depletion or, deficiency in some way? Those are the things that matter most when you're assessing supplementation. And remember, supplements are powerful, but we always have to be working on the foundations the most. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. I know balancing time and energy can be a challenge, and I'm so proud of you for listening in and investing in your wellness journey. I feel incredibly grateful to connect with you and for the opportunity to share more knowledge, stories, and encouragement related to all things wellness. I would love to hear how this podcast has served you. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe and leave a review on either iTunes or Spotify. Your support truly means the world to me and helps me reach more women just like you and me who are looking to transform their health from the inside out. Plus, when you share this episode with a friend, we invite more women in to learn alongside us. What a gift. Remember, knowledge is power, and the more we know, the better we can do. For ourselves, for our families, and our future. Well done on taking the step towards a healthier, happier you. Until next week, stay empowered and stay well.